Right now, live at 5.
I guess it's just what comes with living in Minnesota.
I talked to Duluthians to see how they're digging out of this early season snowfall.
Plus,
how Cloquet teachers are getting a lifeline when it comes to much-needed time off during a pandemic.
And later,
an update on the Superior Street reconstruction project.
And we're less than 2 weeks from Election Day. And although more than 37 million Americans have cast their ballot, the top contenders for the White House will make a final pitch to voters during the last presidential debate.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
Welcome to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look over the city of Duluth. The day after our first big snowfall of the season, we're learning more about the troubles that came with it. Good evening, I'm Kristen Vaki. Thanks for joining us. That record-setting October snowstorm we saw yesterday dumped heavy snow in Minnesota and parts of northern Wisconsin. It was the heaviest snow this early in October for many Minnesota locations and some in northwestern Wisconsin. Lakeville and some other southern Twin Cities suburbs got around 9 inches. In Wisconsin, an American Eagle flight from Chicago skidded off the runway at Central Wisconsin Airport. Widespread snow is possible again tomorrow with as much as 8 inches in northeastern Minnesota. The Minnesota State Patrol responded to hundreds of weather-related incidents throughout the day yesterday. Reports show almost 500 crashes statewide. 48 of those involved injuries, 1 serious. There were 614 vehicles that went off the road or spun out and 22 jackknifed semi-trucks. Caitlin Moffitt joins us now with our first look at weather and what we can expect for the rest of the week. Caitlin, we're cleaning up now from yesterday's storm, but I mean, don't put the shovel away anytime soon.
Not at all. We're going to need the snow blowers, probably the shovels in some spots here. We have had a few shifts in that system, which I will bring you those updates in just a minute. But taking a look at those snow totals for our region here, Brainerd came in at the highest at 5.7 inches, but the Duluth area was right behind that. We saw around 6 inches as well. Cloquet, 5 inches. International Falls got a small amount, about 2 inches. And then over in Wisconsin, amounts around 5 in Hayward, 3 in Ashland, and 1 down in Phillips. So overall, we did see quite a bit of snowfall here in the Twin Ports, and we've got another round headed our way. We now are under a winter storm warning that includes the Duluth area and a winter weather advisory for the rest of the region up the North Shore, and then the entire South Shore and the Upper Peninsula, all in place until Friday morning at 4 a.m. But you'll notice right now the Doppler and satellite pretty quiet out there this evening. We've got a quiet night ahead. A few flurries to our south with some light snow, but otherwise here in the Twin Ports, we're looking pretty mild. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s next to the lake, right around freezing for most areas across the region. So we're looking at a mild night ahead tonight. That should not say 297, 29 degrees for your low tonight, and I will have your updated forecast coming up next.
Thanks, Caitlin. Cold and snow over the past few days has quickly turned the Northland from fall to winter. CBS 3 meteorologist Alex Libby spoke with Northlanders to see how they're dealing with this early season snow.
The leaf-covered trees aren't the only ones who are thrown off by this mid-October snow.
Pretty surprised. I don't know, not really looking forward to it. I was hoping for fall a little bit longer, but I guess snow came early this year.
Lars Olsen, who has lived in Minnesota his whole life, tries to find the positives that winter has to offer.
Whether it be shoveling as a form of exercise or lacing up your skates on one of Duluth's many outdoor rinks.
Pond hockey. I used to play hockey, so I just go on the pond and play with my buddies now, so it's fun.
From the pond to the slopes, Jordan Woods, who works at Duluth Ski Hut, couldn't be more excited to see the flakes fly.
I've been ready for winter for 9 months, and winter's kind of my thing, so I'm excited that we're past the fall leaf, the pretty fall leaves. I'm ready to get into some actual snow now.
Woods says since the first snow this past Saturday, he's seen a lot more customers walk into the shop.
A ton of people have been coming in buying skis. It's just been crazier. We kind of figured it was going to be like this.
Woods says downhill skiing will have to wait until the resorts open, but for cross country, there are ways you can get out there right now.
People can get out on golf courses where it's legal and just backyards, anything like that. Anything with a couple inches of snow where you can't see grass. For cross-country skiing, yeah, just get out on an old pair of skis and just go.
Yes, the snow and cold are here early, but that's just weather in the Northland.
I guess it's just what comes with living in Minnesota.
That is the truth. Wood says he hopes this early snow will make up for the skiing that got cut short by the pandemic back in March. Heading over to Cloquet, where area teachers are getting a lifeline when it comes to needed time off during the pandemic. The Cloquet School Board approved a new COVID-19 sick bank this week. It allows teachers to voluntarily put in any unused sick days into the bank for other teachers to use if needed. They must be used for COVID-19 related issues like a quarantine or taking care of a sick child. Cloquet superintendent says a substitute teacher shortage was one of the driving reasons.
And a lot of our subs aren't willing to substitute this year because of their own personal risk to COVID. And so we're trying to make sure we're providing ways for our teachers to be away when they need to, but also trying to look for strategies on how we can keep teachers engaged.
The Cloquet School Administration will take the next few days to figure out who wants to add sick days into the bank. The system should be up and running in about a week. Funding is on its way for Northland infrastructure projects. Minnesota's governor signed the largest bonding bill in state history today. Governor Tim Walz signed the $1.9 billion bill into law. It received bipartisan support in both the House and the Senate. Besides funding infrastructure projects around the state, the money also prevents layoffs of state employees, keeps the prisons in Togo and Willow River open, and provides a tax break for farmers and small business owners. More than 75,000 Wisconsinites cast their ballots on the first day of early in-person voting. Mail-in absentee voting has been available since September, and more than 1 million people have already returned their ballots that way. In total, nearly 1.1 million people have already cast ballots ahead of the November 3rd election. That is 37% of the total votes cast in the 2016 presidential election. Early in-person voting continues through the end of the month. Well, there are less than 2 weeks until Election Day, though more than 37 million Americans have already cast their ballot. Tomorrow night, President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden will hold their last presidential debate. CBS's Nancy Chen is in Washington with the latest on Campaign 2020, as well as the battle on Capitol Hill to pass new coronavirus relief legislation.
President Trump rallied in Pennsylvania last night.
Hello, Erie. May I please have your vote?
It's his 8th campaign stop in the battleground state that both candidates see as a must-win.
This is an election between the Trump super recovery, which is happening right now, and a Biden depression.
Joe Biden's running mate, California Senator Kamala Harris, said the former vice president can lead the country out of the coronavirus pandemic.
The thing about Joe is that he has a deep understanding of how our government works. He has an understanding of what it means to manage a crisis.
More than 220,000 Americans have died from COVID-19, but a new report from the CDC says there have been around 300,000 more deaths in the U.S. compared to a typical year. The CDC says the virus was likely a factor, preventing some people from seeking medical help for other pressing issues. Health officials warn the virus is still out of control.
We're in a much worse place now than we were in March and April.
Here in Washington, the White House and Democrats are working on a $2 trillion coronavirus relief package, but Republican leaders have been hesitant to support it.
We'd have to see what it was first. There's been no deal announced.
CBS News has learned that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell warned the White House against going along with a large spending bill.
What the Republican leader is offering this week is a stunt.
The Senate will vote on a $500 billion bill later today.
According to a New York Times Siena College poll, more than 7 in 10 voters want Congress to pass the $2 trillion stimulus bill. Still to come on Live at 5, the farmers market is closing up shop this weekend. Plus, a staple of the Apostle Islands has been canceled due to COVID-19. City by City is next. And tonight at 6, a pandemic can quickly take a toll on your mental and physical health, but also your sick time allowance. The Cloquet School Board is trying to help by finding a way to help teachers catch a break.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS 3.
With ongoing racial unrest across the nation, we're digging into the role race could play on the 2020 election.
CBS 3 News presents Race and Campaign 2020.
The Kelly Clarkson Show right here.
Weekdays at 3 on CBS 3.
Get out and experience the great outdoors this winter with gear from your friends at Continental Ski and Bike. Continental has alpine, Nordic, and fat biking gear for the whole family. Looking to tune your current gear? Let Continental technicians tune up your skis for your next adventure.
I've always liked video editing. When I was growing up, I'd made a lot of YouTube videos about hamsters, and I really love squids. I graduated from a really big high school, so coming to UWS, where it's a lot smaller, it allowed me to really find myself. More opportunities are there for me to explore and find out what I really want to do. One of my overarching dreams is to film and edit a documentary about marine biology. Yeah, I would say that I am very happy here.
It's coming. You ready? Because Toro's Snow Days sale is here. With the #1 brand in snowblowers, you will dominate winter. And now during Toro's Snow Days, get up to $100 off select 2-stage snowblowers, up to $40 off select 60-volt battery snowblowers, and up to $50 off select single-stage snowblowers. Plus great financing offers. Win winter with Toro.
We can help you at Ketamine North Infusion Center.
I've been suffering from PTSD and anxiety for 17 years, and it has helped tremendously more than the pharmaceutical medication I've been taking.
To learn more, visit us online. Be well with us at Ketamine North Infusion.
We've been down this road long enough, but Tom Tiffany wants to keep us going in the wrong direction. Even during a pandemic, Tiffany supports taking away protections for pre-existing conditions, kicking millions off their health insurance, and forcing you to pay more. There's another way. Tricia Zunker. Zunker will put our families first with better health care and help for small businesses, workers, and farmers to get our economy moving again. Tricia Zunker for Congress.
I'm Tricia Zunker, and I approve this message.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News, live at 5. Here's a live look from Spirit Mountain. Caitlin Moffitt will have your full weather forecast coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a look around the region. The last chance to support local farmers this season in Grand Rapids, plus a Bayfield area staple has been canceled for the year. That and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. Starting off in Grand Rapids, where the area farmers market is calling it quits for the season as early winter weather begins to move in. This Saturday will be the final day for the market, which ran through the summer. Now heading to Virginia, where a faculty member for the Marquette Catholic School has tested positive for COVID-19. The school's principal, as well as at least one student, were announced to be positive with the virus in an email sent to families on Monday. The principal has not been on campus since October 11th. The school is scheduled to be cleaned and classes will continue as normal. Those impacted will self-quarantine per Minnesota Department of Health guidelines. And finally, we'll finish off in Bayfield, where the 26th annual Apostle Island Sled Dog Race has been canceled due to COVID-19. The race was scheduled for the first weekend of February and is a massive economic boost for the area, with more than 1,000 people often showing up to cheer on the mushers. Bayfield Chamber officials say the decision to cancel the event was a difficult one to make. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland city by city. Still to come on Live at 5, as new cases of COVID continue to surge worldwide, researchers are looking at the long-term implications of the virus.
And we've got quiet conditions tonight, but a winter storm warning is in place for the Northland for your Thursday morning. I'll have the details on that snowy forecast coming up next.
They're live, they're local. Watch the CBS 3 News with Kristen Baki and Anthony Matt tonight at 6, right after the CBS Evening News at 5:30.
It's time for the annual Subaru Love a Pet adoption event. Join us virtually this year. For the month of October, there will be discounted adoption fees for dogs and cats, along with featured pets of the day. Visit animalallies.net for featured pets and event details. Miller Hill Subaru and participating shelters are excited to find loving homes for pets and bring you this event virtually. Visit animalallies.net for adoptable pets and details.
I support Pete Stauber because Pete Stauber has working men and women's backs.
Pete Stauber has worked to get our economy reopened and bring jobs back to Minnesota.
Pete doesn't care about politics. He cares about doing his job and creating jobs for us.
Fighting for our jobs, fighting for our families, fighting for our way of life.
This isn't about politics. This is about protecting jobs in Minnesota. Pete Stauber's there for us when the rubber meets the road.
Pete Stauber for Congress.
I'm Pete Stauber, and I approve this message.
Senate District 11 has been my home for 40 years. I built a home here. I raised a family here. And now I want to be your state senator. As a journalist, I dedicated my life to listening and learning about your lives, and I'm still listening. Together, we'll make sure that health care is affordable, our schools are fully funded, and our communities thrive. I'll be your voice in St. Paul, but I need your vote to get there. I'm Michelle Lee, and I approve this message.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS 3.
Northwest Outlet is your ARE truck topper headquarters.
Has this early round of snow had an impact on big construction projects? The answer for you coming up today at 6.
We've got more snow headed our way for the Northland. I'll have your updated timing and totals tonight.
Tonight at 6 on CBS 3. The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS 3. And now your Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Caitlin Moffitt.
Well, round one of the snow moved out later last night, and we're now set for our next round here coming in tomorrow morning. So we had a break this afternoon today to kind of shovel out from what we got yesterday in terms of snow. Duluth picked up nearly 6 inches of fresh snow. So we are now under a winter storm warning going into effect very late tonight, going all the way through Friday morning at 4 a.m. And that's the pink counties you see shaded there, and that does include the Duluth area. Now, the remainder of those counties shaded in purple is a winter weather advisory. So the biggest thing is where you see the pink counties is kind of where the bulk of that system is going to really push its way through from our southwest all the way through Duluth, now in the center kind of this storm, as several models have now shifted from what I showed yesterday to what I'll show you this afternoon. Right now, the Doppler and satellite pretty quiet there for most of our region. A few flurries just over south of Brainerd, some light snow possible as well, and then some light snow down to our south, but that's kind of out of our viewing area. For us here in the Twin Ports, we're going to be quiet this evening with some rather milder temperatures. We're sitting in the mid to low 30s for most spots. 33 up on the hill in Duluth, 34 over in Solon Springs, still 36 degrees down in Hinckley, a few lower 30s off to our northwest, but under mostly cloudy skies, and we're going to remain to see those mostly cloudy skies overnight as we are tracking this next snow system headed our way. So tonight, 10 o'clock, you'll still see mostly cloudy skies, but winds will be fairly calm out of our north and west as they start to shift to be out of the east come Thursday afternoon. So by 4 o'clock, still quiet, still pretty dry. The snow will just start to be entering these southern counties near the Brainerd area, and then by around 7, 8 o'clock, the Twin Ports will start to see a light snowfall. This is around 10 a.m. Snowfall will have begun in the Twin Ports, and it's only going to continue all afternoon and evening hours. You'll see kind of the bulk of the system sitting right over the Twin Ports, and some of it's going to be some moderate heavy snowfall, which is going to lead to your afternoon commute on the roadways. It's going to be another tricky, messy commute, as you can see some of that rain along the shoreline mixing in again. So this is an indication it's going to be another wet, heavy snowfall, just like we saw yesterday. Same thing going for tomorrow. But folks along the international border will kind of miss this event completely with how much it shifted to our south. So as we go through the evening hours and overnight Thursday night, 11 o'clock, still seeing very light snowfall as we're just on the outside of this system. Still quiet, though, to our north and west. And then that does move out very early Friday morning. But the showers will linger for your Ironwood area because winds will have shifted out of the north, and we're actually going to see some lake effect for those folks in the Ironwood, Gogeeba counties, while the afternoon for us here on Friday will start to kind of clear out. So this is our updated snowfall forecast for the day tomorrow into your Thursday night. 4 to 8 inches. That does include us here in the Twin Ports. 2 to 4 for closer up to the Iron Range, and then 1 to 2 inches further outside of our region, closer to Baudette and International Falls. But closer to the lake, of course, because of those warmer temperatures, do expect those totals to be slightly lower just because of the warm Lake Superior. Tonight, 29 degrees up on the hill, 30 down here by the lake. Will be under mostly cloudy skies, 27 in Hayward, 28 in Washburn. Tomorrow, temperatures bounce back up to the upper 30s, and for most of the region, 36 degrees here in the Twin Ports. Do expect snow to move in early Thursday morning, lasting the entirety of the afternoon and evening all the way through the Twin Ports region. So it's going to be a messy commute one more time. Another 6-7 inches to pile in back up on our snow total for October. And we might be breaking our most snowiest October on record.
It's funny. I feel like people will find pride in that.
I mean, hey,
only in this area.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Yep.
This round of October snow is not expected to delay Duluth's Superior Street reconstruction project. According to city staff, the project is still on track to be done by the second week of November. Duncan Swenson, senior engineer for the city of Duluth, says all of their underground work is done, so this week's early snowfall won't get in the way.
We might just have to push a little snow out of the way, you know, but October snowfalls typically are more of just a nuisance than anything because they don't typically last as long.
Right now, the crew is finishing electrical work and putting final touches on the roads. This is the third and final phase of the Superior Street reconstruction project. Work on this section between Lake Avenue and 3rd Avenue West started in the spring. Researchers at King's College London are looking into why some people have the coronavirus longer than others. Some patterns are starting to form which answer that question. CBS's Ian Lee has more.
Vicki Bourne went from ziplining on vacation and hitting the gym several times a week to dealing with waves of illness after catching the coronavirus in March.
I lost my sense of taste and smell again. It just went completely. I get really wheezy and breathless, and I have to use an inhaler twice a day now.
Vicki is describing what doctors call long COVID. UK researchers believe thousands of people share a similar experience. So they asked coronavirus patients to log their symptoms on an app. Most recovered in under 11 days, but 1 in 7 were sick for more than a month, while 1 in 50 reported being sick for more than 12 weeks. Doctors say people at higher risk for long COVID have more than 5 symptoms in their first week, are over 50, women, and have asthma.
We wanted to have an idea of how much that might affect people, especially as we are going into a second wave now in the pandemic, where more and more people are going to get exposed to the virus.
As cases spike around the globe, doctors are creating a model to predict who is at most risk of long COVID. They hope their research will help prevent and treat the deadly virus.
The UK government has released a film aimed at raising awareness of long COVID symptoms. It's also investing more than $13 million into dedicated long COVID clinics in England. Still to come, a new resolution from the Superior City Council could have implications from BNSF Railroad Company. Details after the break.
With ongoing racial unrest across the nation, we're digging into the role race could play on the 2020 election.
CBS 3 News presents Race and Campaign 2020.
At Perkins, our burger, fries, and pie combo is back. For a limited time, enjoy any burger, fries, and a slice of pie. Dine in safely or order pickup or delivery at perkinstogo.com.
I am Robert. My wife, Katie.
I'm Ollie.
Yes, you're Ollie. We are the 4th generation of a family farm. It has been more down times than good times. 2 years ago, a storm came through this area, took down our barn. Financially, it was unbearable. But Tina Smith and her staff, they came through big for us.
And she continues to be there for us. That's something I've never seen in a politician before. Really impressed me. I feel very fortunate to have her as our senator.
I'm Tina Smith, and I approve this message.
So, you made it all the way up to the North Pole?
Yep, and the South. But I need good Medicare coverage so I can keep exploring.
Well, we have Medicare Advantage plans. Some starting at $0 a month.
Can I find them online?
Yeah, absolutely. Or you can give us a call.
Sounds good.
Well, our stop is just up ahead.
So that was the shortest ride I think I've ever been on.
Yeah, quarantine legs. Gotta work those muscles back up.
I'm Quinn Nystrom, and I pay $600 a month for 2 vials of insulin, and that's with insurance. Meanwhile, drug company profits go up and up. It's why I refuse to take their money for my campaign. But Pete Stauber has taken tens of thousands of dollars from corporate interests and voted 5 times against lowering the cost of prescription drugs. I approve this message because I know we literally can't afford Pete Stauber in Congress.
We took a bad economy that was falling and turned it around. Trump took a good economy and drove it back into the ditch. through his failure to get COVID under control, his failure to deliver real relief to working people? Does he not understand and see the tens of millions of people who've had to file for unemployment this year so far? The people who lost wages while the cost of groceries have gone up dramatically? Donald Trump has been almost singularly focused on the stock market, the Dow and NASDAQ. Not you, not your families. My plan will help create at least 5 million new, good-paying jobs and create them right here in the United States of America. Let's use this opportunity to take bold investments in American industry and innovation so the future is made in America. I'll be laser focused on working families. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Right now, millions of people and billions of devices are connected to the internet. Homes, businesses, hospitals, schools. The security and reliability of these connections are more important than ever. That's why at MediaCom, we've built a network to protect them. A network that sees threats, fixes problems before they occur, and keeps you going with 99.99% network reliability.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
A high-ranking deputy to the Minneapolis police chief says he was demoted after he was quoted in a newspaper story referring to white officers as white boys. Art Knight, who is black, says Minneapolis's police chief took the action over the weekend. Knight was quoted in a story in the Star Tribune about law enforcement efforts to retain and recruit candidates of color. While criticizing the department's efforts to add diversity, Knight said that if the force continues on the same track to recruit, then, quote, "You're just going to get the same old white boys," end quote. Meanwhile, the Superior City Council says a railroad should still be responsible for taconite damages on nearby homes. More than 200 residents living near the taconite facility have collected reimbursements from BNSF Railroad for 50 years. They used that money for cleaning and maintaining their homes damaged from taconite. But recently, the company stopped those payments without any warning. After getting unanimous support at last night's council meeting, this non-binding resolution now asks the company to keep paying those homeowners, but the decision is ultimately up to BNSF. City Councilor Jenny Van Sickle plans to meet with the railroad next week.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, Obama hits the campaign trail. The former president in Pennsylvania for his first in-person appearance, hoping to turn out African-American voters in the crucial swing state. Plus, a troubling look at more than 500 children separated from their parents at the border years ago. Tonight, why lawyers are struggling to reunite them. And we'll meet a young scientist making strides in coronavirus research. And she's only 14 years old. That and more tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
CBS 3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. Need a flu shot? Find flu booth dates and locations at essentiahealth.org.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I must give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Is your child on track? As a caregiver, we love watching babies reach milestones, like that first smile, that first giggle, first steps and words. Some children need a little extra help to learn and grow. If you've noticed that your child isn't reaching certain milestones, don't worry. Free help is available for children ages birth to 5. Whether your child is at home, in daycare, or in preschool, the Help Me Grow referral system connects you to the early intervention program in your area. Visit helpmegrowmn.org or your local school district to make sure your child is on track.
Bender's Shoes store-wide sale is going on now.
On the fence as to whether or not to get your flu shot this season? Ely Bloomington Community Hospital is making the decision a no-brainer with free drive-up flu shots on October 3rd and 24th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's quick, easy, and free. Do your part to keep you and your community safe from the flu with Ely Bloomington Community Hospital.
Hello, I'm Steve Little with Bath Planet. For the month of October, we are offering free installation for bathtub, shower, safety tubs, and surrounds. Get your dream bathroom with free installation. As always, you can still get one of our great financing options for low monthly payments, or 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2022. This offer ends October 31st, so call us today or go online to book your appointment to take advantage of this amazing offer. Bath Planet, out of this world service, down to earth price.
Season 2 is here, y'all. And yes, I am in an eye patch. How much more, Kelly, can it
The
get?
Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS 3.
All right, Caitlin, let's get a final check of the weather. Things are at least calming down here for now.
Yes, quiet tonight, pretty mild out there in terms of how cold it could be.
Yes.
Temperature is really only going to drop into those upper 20s. We're going to see mostly cloudy skies, 29 degrees for the low tonight in the Twin Ports. And the winds are going to be fairly calm. Now, as we get into your tomorrow forecast, you're going to want to break out that snowblower for Thursday. We are going to see snow move in Thursday morning, lasting throughout the entirety of the day. A good 6 to 8 inches is looking very likely for the Twin Ports area. And then Friday and Saturday, things kind of calm down a bit. We see a little bit of sunshine probably Saturday, which will be nice, but temperatures get very, very cold as we head into the start of our weekend. Main thing is stay up to date here on CBS for those updates come Thursday with that snow.
All right. Thanks, Caitlin. Well, that's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is up next. We'll see you right back here at 6.